If you want to know more about driver's ed, you clicked on the What's up guys, my name's Alexia. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified every time I upload a new video because I have plenty of content about fitness, nutrition, self-care, academics. If any of that stuff sounds interesting to you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Surprisingly, some of my most popular videos on this channel actually have to do with driving. My first one being the one about getting your learner's permit, which you'll see the thumbnail for over here. Click the link up here to watch that one. And I also made a second video about passing your road test, but I did have some requests to make a video about driver's ed, so I wanted to pop in here and share my experience with driver's ed with you guys and give you guys some tips and pointers about how to sign up for driver's ed, what you should look into when you get a program, and why driver's ed is helpful in the first place. As with all my videos, I want to start off with my credibility. So I have been on the roads for about 2 years now. I got my learner's permit when I was 16, I took driver's ed, and I finished it in the winter of 2019, and then I was scheduled to take my first road test in March of 2020. However, the pandemic did delay that, but I finally got to take my road test and I passed on the first try in June of 2020. So I've been a fully licensed driver for a little while now. So yeah, I went through all the steps properly. Got my learner's permit, I did driver's ed, I took my road test, so that is my driving credibility. And yeah, in this video, I just want to share some of my tips about driver's ed with you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. All right, so the first question that I get asked pretty often is why should you even take driver's ed? So in New York State, at least, these are the rules that if you take driver's ed, you can actually get your full driver's license at age 17, whereas if you didn't take it, you would have to wait until you're 18. As well as taking driver's ed actually lowers your insurance cost because at the end of the program, you are given a slip that you can hand into your insurance company to show that you did all this proper driving instruction, which is going to lower your insurance costs. In addition, driver's ed can help prepare you for your road test because most often your driving instructor probably does special road test instruction as well on the side. So during your driver's ed course, you can definitely ask to go through all the steps of a road test and make sure that you're learning how to signal properly and exactly what to do in order to pass your road test. There's actually one other way to get your license at age 17, and this would be taking the 5-hour driving course. So this is definitely much better if you don't have that much time to spare, if you're extremely busy, and you can still get your license as long as you pass your road test. However, keep in mind that if you don't take the full driver's ed program, you will not get those discounts on your insurance. So your insurance costs as a new driver will be relatively high because you haven't taken that full driver's ed instruction course. If you choose to take neither the 5-hour course or driver's ed, you have to wait until you're 18 years old to get your license, but once you're 18, as long as you do pass your road test, you can get your driver's license. But keep in mind, as usual, your insurance costs will be higher. Alright, so with that information in mind, if you've decided that you do want to take driver's ed, here are some things that you should keep in mind. My first piece of advice is to check to see if your school has a program for driver's ed. I would recommend checking with either administrators in the building or top secretaries. They definitely know about it. Some schools have free driver's ed programs, which is definitely fantastic if it's part of your school curriculum and they offer it as a class, that's great. Or they can offer it as like an extracurricular almost before school and after school. So yeah, find out if your school has a program because that will be the most convenient for you as it's the closest to your house. And if it's free, that's also a great benefit. An important thing to consider when choosing your driver's ed program is what time frame you want to be taking your classes. So I know that many schools that offer driver's ed have it either in the morning before school or right after school, but if you're someone who has a lot of clubs to go to or play sports, this might not be ideal for you. Someone as myself, I actually took my driver's ed courses over the weekends. I took it every single Sunday for 3 hours, so that was a separate program that worked for me. So yeah, figure out your schedule and decide when you want to be taking your classes. I know a lot of people that decided to take the morning classes were feeling really sluggish during that time and kind of regretted their decision. So think through if you're a morning person or not, or if you have that time to spare on weekdays and weeknights. As I previously mentioned, if you are an athlete and you play school sports 5 days a week on the weekdays, you might really want to consider getting a weekend program. For me, I did a 3-hour program every Sunday. It was basically all the athletes in my area were doing the same program because Sunday was the one-day week where we didn't have sports. Unfortunately, my lecture did start at 7:30 in the morning, so I was up quite early on Sundays, but the program that I did had start times of 7:30, 9 o'clock, 10:30, and 1 o'clock, I believe. So it was pretty varied. I just chose the morning session because after my driver's ed, I had to go to work, so it worked best for me and my schedule. Once you decide what program you want to do, you may have the option to sign up to do so with your friends, which I recommend as the best option because when you do drive, it's most often going to be you and 3 other people in your car, so 4 total students. If you have 3 friends that want to do it with you, that would be super fun because all the time you get to spend together, it's a great bonding experience. For me, I actually went into driver's ed on my own, so I was put with 3 random people in my car, but it ended up working out really well. I became great friends with them, and they were all from different school districts around New York, so it was really great to connect with people and to learn more about them, their schools, and their experiences. A little bit of my experience in driver's ed, as I mentioned, it did start at 7:30 in the morning, which was quite early, so after a Saturday night of going out, it was kind of painful to have to wake up at like 6:15 in the morning to get up, eat breakfast, and get there. But you know, my driver's ed only lasted 3 or 4 months. It was from September to the end of December, so it wasn't awful, you know, it got done quickly. And having it super early in the morning was actually helpful because it gave me the rest of my Sunday to do whatever I needed to. For me, most often it was going to work or getting my homework done, any of that stuff. I think that the driving part was a lot of fun. My people in my car were super friendly and they were super fun, and we had definitely a lot of inside jokes and laughs in our car. Some instructors are more strict than others where they make you put your phones in the trunk and put everything else away, but my instructor was a little bit more lenient, so we could go on our phones a little bit if we were in the back. We could talk to each other, we could study for a test, any of that stuff, which I definitely was doing. You know, gotta maximize your time. And for the lecture part, it was pretty simple. We had to buy this textbook called the Drive Right textbook. Mine was $40. I did have to pay for it out of pocket, but I know many places, if you have a sibling, you can borrow theirs, or if you have friends taking the course, you can borrow theirs, all that stuff. Many ways to get it for cheaper. And my lecture class was actually super duper fun. It was about 30 kids, and it happened to be a bunch of guys from all different places, and they were all super hysterical and funny, so I really did enjoy my lecture class. So yeah, overall I had a great time in driver's ed, and it obviously did prepare me for my road test because if you guys have seen my road test video, which I'll link over here, click the link up here to watch it, I did pass my road test on the first try. So yeah, definitely really good for that preparation. And yeah, if you have any additional questions about driver's ed, or if you happen to live in my area and have any questions about what specific programs that you should do, feel free to leave a comment down below or DM me on Instagram at livelikeLex, which you'll see right up here. I will get back to you and give you as accurate of advice as I can, but please keep in mind that ever since the pandemic started, driver's ed has shifted a little bit. So now I think the cars only have 1 student at a time instead of 4, but hopefully if you're seeing this farther in the future, the pandemic rules are gone and you guys are back to normal. So yeah, just if you have any additional questions, feel free to drop a comment and I'll try my best to answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that it was helpful to you, and I hope that it gives you some more insight on taking the next steps towards being a licensed driver. As usual, make sure to follow me on all my social media accounts, which I will leave linked right up here. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and consider sharing it to a friend who might also need this information. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope that you have a fantastic day. Bye!